Hi everyone and welcome back to my tutorial series. We're now on day 3 of this and hopefully they're helping some producers who are stuck at home during lockdown. Yesterday we covered drums and the day before was templates, so anyone who wants to watch those can do that on YouTube and also on Instagram TV. I'm going to be showing you how I do my bass lines today, so there's a quick preview of the track that I've written now. And I'll now show you how I go about writing the bass line and also how I processed it. Kind of skipped ahead now at this point and I've got a little bit more structure going on. It's only something really basic, but it's basically the parts of the drums that we already had in there and I've split them up. I've also taken the kick and just cut it off on the EQ to make it more of a build up. So you get that. I've added just a held string in the build-up as well, and then a snare. Maybe we can cut out the kick there halfway through. And then I've just got reverse crash, and then a cymbal when it drops as well. So that's where we're kind of at the moment. Just to show you anything that I've kind of done to those parts, which I've added in there. On the strings, again I've just spread them slightly. It also sounds slightly doubled, and then I've also put this on it. So this is from Isotope, it's completely free, and it basically makes it sound a bit like an old record. So on here, you can hear it like warps the sound. So I've only got it on very slight, but that's just to make it sound more like a sample. And then I've got a snare, which is just rolling up to the drop, which, as you can see on here, if I can get it to show it, I've just added some automation. So this is basically the bottom end of the snare. It's just being pulled up as it goes along. And then this is the top end. And if you listen to it over the course of those 8 bars, and that's all that's doing. So the next step really, I've added in a bass sound, and this is just a sub that goes underneath it. And then I've got a couple of pianos in there as well, which I might add in the kind of build up to it. In terms of the processing that I put on basses, on the top I tend to spread it slightly, again using this micro shift, which is basically detuning it and slightly delaying like either side of it, but I find that's really good. And this is just sending it to the reverb, which again will make it wider. A lot of people are afraid to add reverb to basses, but I think it makes them sound a bit more natural. And then for your sub, you don't want to spread that, and you probably don't want to put reverb on it. And I'm just using the ES24, and you can select it as mono. And you can see all the plugins are also on mono. So when it gets down here, it looks like that. And I tend to layer those together. So on this sub, I've cut it off, so you're only getting, if I take it off that one, the really low ends, and then on the top, I've done the opposite. And that just stops them clashing. But it will be a case of writing something in there. The only other thing I've actually done, which I've just remembered, I selected everything. So if you hit Command A and then hit the flex button, I flexed it all. These didn't really need it because they're crashes, but I'll put it on anyway. And then I just changed the tempo. So originally we were at 126. Sounded a little bit quick, so I brought it down to 124. So I've actually taken the vocal out at this point just because I didn't really feel like I was getting much from it in terms of inspiration, and also because the bass that I've got, which I quite like, sounds quite good around that area, but the vocal was up here. So at the moment I'm going to avoid using it. I might always add it back in at another point, but I just wanted to keep the track moving. Right, so now I just need to get some kind of bass line in there. If you ever struggle with latency in Logic, which I do to be fair, you can go into here and I choose low latency mode. You sometimes find it goes a bit quieter because it's not using all the plugins. Cool, so I think I like that, so I'm just going to record that in. Let's just quantize that, some kind of swing, put it on the sub as well. And then with the drums. And then I'm going to turn low latency mode off because it won't sound quite like that once it's off. Cool, so that's one idea of the bass. I tend to, when I'm doing it, I'll put that to one side and then I'll write another one and then I'll just flip between them and it normally stands out which one's better straight away. I like to have more than one option for it. I might even just try and change the bass for something else. So I think sometimes if you're using the same bass, you're going to come up with similar ideas. Or maybe even just using the sub. So that's our second one. I'm going to trim it so we've got like a 4-bar loop, and again I'm just going to set that to swing. So normally I prefer that kind of bass, so I'm just going to compare the two. Yeah, definitely. So this is the one I'm going to use. And if I'm using a really subby one, what I'll normally do, just because you want it to pop out even in the higher frequencies, even if it is just a sub, so I'll use something like Decapitator. And that just gives it that little bit of top end that it needs. As you can see, it's still way too bassy. So either I'll bring the whole thing down, or if I need it that loud, I will just add a little bit of an EQ. It doesn't have to be like really sharp like that, you can just do it. Cool, so we've got a bass there, let's just do it with the build up. Now the only thing I think on that bass, I really like it, but I think it's not going to pop through in a club it's quite a slow start to it, so I'm going to get something really plucky over the top of it. Now I've actually got one which is like a bit of a go-to thing for me. Here you go. So it's like a user one on here. If I put that over the top of what I've got, now to me that's a bit more future house, so I'm going to drop it an octave. And then very... There you go. So if you listen with and without that, and I can probably take off more of that. Thanks to all of you who have tuned in and watched this tutorial. I hope it's helped some of you and I hope you're all keeping safe. I'm going to be doing a DJ mix in the next couple of days where I'll be going live for 2 hours, so keep an eye out for that. And in the meantime, I'll be back tomorrow with a new tutorial. So I'll see you all then.